My name is Wilmer Nadjiwon. I am a member of the Cape Broker band of Ojibway Indians. My mother was actually from England, or at least her people were from England. And my dad was a member of the Cape Broker people. And they had met before the First World War. Biggest concern, I guess, in life had been sent to a residential school. And after, when my mother was killed in 1930, that left a large family. The farm at the time would rocked, I guess you'd say, when my mother was killed, and because she was a steering wheel to our life. And once she was killed, a new system had to be developed. That is when I was sent as one of three boys who went to Spanish residential school. In that time that I was there, in 1930, in 1933, I was attacked sexually by not a priest. He hadn't been a priest, he was a prefect. I was doing a penalty for not knowing something, the teacher got so mad that he took away all my summer holiday. I would spend my time writing out everything that was to be done or you could do in the Catholic or as a Catholic in the Catholic Church. I would spend my time every day, every time the boys or the rest of the boys went up on a boat trip. I wrote a book called Not Dog Nor Wolf. Part of it was my time in residential school. Before I got sentenced into this year, writing out all my church's activities. I used to go with the rest of the boys and we'd go on a school trip and we'd go by boat and it was a wonderful time because we were in clean water. Spanish residential school took their water from the Spanish River, which was polluted. And so when we were able to get onto a boat and go out past the Spanish River into Georgian Bay, then it was great. A surprise to me when Father, who was supposed to be on that school trip on the boat, showed up at the school classroom that I was working out of. It was during that time that I had the sexually attacks by this father. He was a prefect, I guess you'd call him. But there was nobody to talk to. The only way out of that dilemma would be that in the confessional you tell your sins or to a priest and we had a very old priest who couldn't very well hear what I was saying. And he never could understand what I was talking about when I tried to report to him what was going on with his father. Probably he knew, but he wasn't saying. But it kept on going from year to year. And on the second year, I ran away from the school because there was no place you could turn and go to anybody except this old priest. And he didn't understand what you're talking about. So he said, you hate yourself and you hate the authority that's over you and you hate the inability to find a way out. And if you were to live it, you'd have to almost live it to understand that your whole life was taken up in something really bad, your whole life. And so that stayed with you. Even when I left the school, in I think 6 years I was there. And when I left, I was no different than when it first happened. You just hate yourself, you hate having to live, to be part of life. And yet I didn't wish to give up. I went back, we went to the farm, I worked hard, and I tried to take my life back, and it never did really come back. In that short time, my dad had remarried, and now I had two more sisters. They'd be stepsisters, and then a half-brother. My life was so screwed up that when the war broke out, and all the boys from Cape Croker seemed to have joined the army, I still couldn't forgive myself and joined the army. I was a very late comer, and most of them were in there from 39 to 40, 42. I think I wasn't in the army till 42 or late 42, early 43. But I was one of the last that joined the army at Cape Croker. And then I went overseas. I went to Italy and fought on the battlefield there in Italy. And apart from being shook up a few times, I came out of it. Many of my people, my young playmates in the schoolyard were buried over there. You're living a life and you don't know whether you like it or would like to live, and you certainly didn't care whether you died.